referred to as multimedia tags. Multimedia tags, trying to embed videos as well as images of different file types on our web page. So stay tuned. This video is also consequent upon the yearnings and comments as well as requests made by our viewers, our listeners, who requested that they be guided on the best way to embed videos, insert images, set them as background color, set them as you can see on this web page, using image as background color and text appearing on top of the images, as well as inserting images that would appear with dynamics or animations such as this. So it's also good to mention at this point that this particular tutorial is also consequent upon the tutorial we had in the previous class, that is on Flexbox. So this tutorial will help to make our knowledge of Flexbox very much clearer, because here we're going to make this website responsive so that it will be adaptable on different screen sizes. All right, enough of the talk. Let us dive in. And if you're just watching this video, if this is the first video you're watching on the playlist, I enjoy you to go back to the previous video. Make sure you watch the ones before this so that it will be more coherent to you. All right, let's dive in. Going into this HTML or in this using our VS Code. In our previous class, we talked about Flexbox layout. We already talked about different things, semantic tags in basic CSS styles layout, as well as CSS box model, a lot. Now, as I said today, we shall be talking about multimedia tags, and I've created the HTML file here, multimedia tutorial, as well as a corresponding CSS file, multimedia tutorial.css. Now, being inside this HTML file, let's create the document structure and link our CSS file into it. So for this place, I will name it multimedia tutorial. Then let's use the link tag to get the external file. Since it is in this case, I'm using double dots. When I say it is in this case, it is not in the same file directory. So I'm moving out of the folder using the double dots, and then I get this CSS file here, multimedia tutorial.css. Now, that having been done, I would want us to go into the body of the work. For the body, I would want us to insert header. Of course, it's one of the semantic tags we talked about, main, as well as footer. These are going to be contents that will be on the web page. I like leaving the web page in this structure. The header part, the main, every section is going to be done inside this main tag, and then the footer. Okay, so for this very part in the header section, I'm going to use navigation tag to load in the menu items for this header. All right, so I'm using the anchor tag to locate this very folder in which this very file that I am, which is the multimedia tutorial. What the user will be seeing will be the logo of the company. And I'll use img to load it. So that is it. Image. This is Ethernet watermark logo. Now let's quickly open this using the live server so that you'll be seeing the output of our work. It opens here, and images, they tend to appear as big as they are unless they are resized and made bigger or made smaller. Now I'm copying this so that I will load it with the Google Chrome, my choice of browser for this tutorial. All right, and I will also break the screen. Breaking it, I do not mean breaking it literally. Okay, so I will make both of them to appear side by side, which is our usual way for the tutorial you've been seeing before now. So is when you load this image, there is usually this alternative attributes that we put here. Let's name it as logo, because that's what it is. So that if this image does not appear, suppose I remove this G on the image name, the logo will not appear. Just watch what happens, because it does not find the location where this image is. It does not find the proper file. So once I add the G, it will load it. Now, the next thing I would like to add here is to add a width attribute, so that that image will be smaller. So let me just give it 250 pixels, and then it's small like this. It's an anchor tag. And how do you know an anchor tag? When I hover on it, you see beneath at the base of the browser the link where that anchor tag leads you to. That's having been said, let's dive in immediately. Let's finish up other things. There are a lot to be done on this video, and I don't want to stretch it. So in this case, I want to use still inside a nav, not outside a nav now. All this will be done inside nav. So I would want to break it from here. And then at the end, let this nav also come down. Having inserted the anchor tag, I would like to use UL, which is on ordered list. We've talked about it before. Inside the UL is nested LI. And inside this LI, I want to load menu items that we shall be seeing at the header of this page. So this first one, I would want it to be to get index.html. This very file, index.html. That's what the user should see. Okay, what the user should be seeing is basic structure, which is the content of that file. Then another LI, we shall be loading home using anchor tag. So home, you see I'm using just a single dot, because I am in the same file directory, not going outside that file directory. Another LI for us to load, even though I have nothing inside this home. I have nothing inside the home. You could see it now. I have not loaded anything inside it, as well as grid. After this tutorial, our focus shall be on grid. So I created this empty HTML file so that once you click on this, it takes you to the file, the basic structure. If you click on home, it opens the file for you. So this is how we create multiple sections or multiple pages, linking them with the anchor tag in the HTML. All right, let's go back to what we are doing here. So this part will be anchor tag. Inside it, I will load grid. The user should be seeing grid layout. Finally, may I load this flexbox layout, the one we did in the previous class, flexbox. What should the user be seeing? Flexbox layout technique. All right. With the live server, whichever one I finish writing, you see it appear. Okay, I think I'm done with that part. Let me comment this part so that you know this is the header section. Then let's go into the main. I will comment the first section I want, which is the hero section. So the first section I want here, I'm naming it as section.hero. That is how I get a class name for this section I'm creating. So inside it, I want to insert a video. So this video can as well be inserted using figure tag, and within it we use the fig caption. So but for this particular tutorial, I want to insert it in this form. Go inside it, and it's good to mention also I have created a folder which I named video, with only one content, only one video inside it. So these are the folders inside this main folder, just as you have in your own other folders. I know the last class we had, some of you had to JavaScript. So for this tutorial, I've created video folder and I added video inside it. So some of you did in the assignments that we are given before now, some of you did what you did, but you didn't do it right. And that is why this video is making it clearer for you to understand how to do it. All right. So I'm loading source using this tag source. And inside it, I'll put this src as you already know, and it means source. And I'm loading the image, the video from where it is. So I get the video, I get this. You see it appear. So in that case, the video itself is shown on the web page. But then there are other things I still need to add so that this video will be playing automatically when it is loaded. This video will also replay once it finishes playing in its section. All right. And so there is an attribute I would need to add here, which is type. So it is MP4, as you could see here. So type is MP4. And another I would like to add within this socks, within the video tag, are muted autoplay, then loop, and then let it play inline. All right. So let me maximize this page. We're not yet seeing the output of this work. Why? Okay. Let me check and be sure this video is actually here. Yeah, the video is here and it has been loaded correctly. Else we are missing something. Okay. And so for us to make this video to appear, we also need to add these attributes here, showing that it is a video, then slash. I think that will make the video to play. All right, so you could see now the video is not showing on the web page because we added that it's a type of video and this type is MP4. Apart from that, we could also add this, like as an alternative, your browser does not support the video tag. Okay, that's having been written. Now we've been able to embed or load a video on our web page. Now I want us to load a content that will appear on top of this image. All right. Anyway, so let's say hero section or hero content. So in the hero content, we are inserting using H1 element, and this says welcome to Gabi Tech Multimedia Tutorial. Okay, and then P tag that says learn how to use images and video tags. Okay, let's go to the second section immediately. So another section we're going to create here, we have it commented as background section. So we want to insert image as background for this section. So I'm naming it section dot bg image, section dot background image. That's what it means. Then inside it, I'm gonna say using H1 using image as background for this section. All right. Now that's only what I want us to have there. Let's move to another section. This section will talk about inserting images and then styling them, maybe adding some effects that you would notice when we do that. So inserting images on the web page. So section dot inserted images. Now, in between these sections, I will have tags such as, but before having those tags, I want to write the title for this section. Let me name it as image gallery. Okay, so I want to name it as image gallery. I would like to style this H1 by saying style text align center, and then add maybe color. If that's necessary, I think I'll add it. So maybe I will add another to give it a margin top of about 20 pixels. That's okay. Let me not add background color yet. Now I want to insert div. This is very important. It's good, best to load your images not directly on the web page that way. There'll be no problem with it, but it is better to do it inside a box so that when you're resizing the box, the image is also resizing in relation to the box. Okay, so in this case, I want to name this div image gallery. That's in between them. I'll use the figure tags to insert or embed images. So img for inserting the image. Then I'll locate the source code for the image I want to insert. And this first image, I would like to name it maybe cute dog. Yeah. So I have different dogs here. When we increase this page, the size, you will see the images we are loading. Okay. Image gallery. Alternatively, let this be named puppy, at least to help for the search engine. Then another I would like to make use of here is fake caption. So this fake caption is the write-up that is accompanying this image. Let me name it a brown sitting puppy. What is happening? Why is our page not loading? He wanted me to restart it first. So this is the lion dog, so lying down. So image gallery, I've centered it. I've also given it a margin top of so and so. All right. This image is not too big. Some other images ordinarily would be overflowing, but it's just as big as it is now, the way it appears, until we reduce it or increase it. Now, I want us to copy this figure and fig caption into other places. All right. maybe about 5 or 6. I want us to see the more effects of flex wrap that we used in the previous tutorial. Align items, justify content, and all those features that we used in the previous video. I hope you are paying attention. All right, so since I have this same image in all other ones, I would like to change them. So for this one, I would want it to be a teddy bear. So let this be teddy bear. Maybe the one that is nature wallpaper or playing wallpaper, whichever one. Then I could also rename it as teddy bear. The caption would also be changed. Teddy bear. Then for this, let me rename it as Winnie. Another dog. Any of them, Winnie, or maybe playing game wallpaper. That solves it. That's good. Let the caption also change to Winnie. So whatever it is you have, I don't want to stretch this video so much, so that we'll go into the CSS part of the work. So let this be giraffe. Giraffe. I don't know if I have that animal here. Okay, that's good. So this should also change to Winnie. This should also change to giraffe. Then for this, I would want to have it as similar to this teddy bear in nature. You could see the images. Yeah, so they are changing. So after the giraffe, I have this one. So let me change it, not to the brown sitting puppy or whatever, but teddy bear in nature wallpaper. So this alternative, remember, it appears if the image is not correctly referenced. All right. All right. So I want to load another image here. This part may be. I think I have a Valentine teddy bear wallpaper here. So let me also name it as Valentine. It's a lovely teddy bear presented as a gift. Okay, so let's go on. Oh, Valentine. Then the fake caption should be Valentine teddy bear. All right. So this one, in the previous video we've made before, we've used this dog that I want to name here. I think that's a happy dog. Yeah. So it's a PNG format. So happy dog. The fake caption should also be happy dog. This is taking longer than I expected, but let's go on. Okay. This last one, I don't know how many images we have here already, but after we'll count it. So, funny dog wallpaper. I haven't seen this one before now. Funny dog. Okay, wow. All right, so let's have that. Let's have it. Funny dog. Then in the caption, funny dog wallpaper. All right, guys. So we are done with this section that we inserted images. So done with this section, let us create another section that will be focusing on backdrop filter effect. We will do it on the video we have on this page, but I want us to also do it on image. So section dot back, let me name it backdrop. This is a shortcut anyway for making this. If it's a class, I will say section dot. If it's an ID, I will say section hash. Okay, so within this part, I'll go into it to have an ID or a class, a div with a class, a div with a class. So that would be backdrop filter. All right. So inside it, I want to insert using h1 to say, that's not h1, hi, h1 heading tag backdrop filter effects. All right. I would want to indent this so that it goes in. So this would be paragraph tag, whether you do it with span or p tag. I want to say this box uses, let me use this tag, code is a tag, uses backdrop filter. Now I'll come out of the code to say to create a blurry or opaque or transparent effect. All right. Finally, let's just write something on the footer and that's all. So this is the footer section. You just have to comment or to say footer section. At least by now you should already know how to use the shortcut for commenting. And then I'm writing with strong to make it bold at Gabitech 2025. All right. Reserved. Okay. Let's zoom this page and see how the page appears. Ordinarily, the skeletal work until we begin to style it with the CSS. All right, guys, so let's do it. Together, we'll achieve what we want and then make a very responsive layout. Remember, I've already linked the CSS tag, the CSS file, using this link style sheet here. So let me open the CSS file, multimedia CSS tutorial. Okay, the first thing I will do here is to use the universal selector to remove the default margin and padding, to say margin 0, padding, why is it not referencing it? 0, text decoration, I want it to be none, and then list style, I want it none. By now, you should be seeing the effects of what we are doing. There's no more underline on all these anchor tags. All right. And the next thing I want us to add here, there are two things I want us to add. One is transition. Transition. I will use all. Make it 0.5 seconds. Then ease in out. And then the last is border box sizing. Box sizing should be made to be border box. All right, let's quickly locate the header. You can as well comment to say header section. So this is how commenting in CSS is. You've known this before now. So header. In that case, what are the styles I want to give to header? Let the header, first of all, before I go to the header, let me display it as flex first. And what I want to make reference to now is not just header, but header nav. So header nav is what I want to display as flex, so that you will not see the effect of that display as flex all the more. So immediately I did it, this one came on the side of this. Okay. Another one I would like to display as flex also is the header nav UL. Header nav UL. So let me also display it as flex. Display flex. You will now see what happens. This one has come to this point now. All right. So let me align these items here to the center. You also see its effect all the more. Align items center. Is now in the same line with the logo. Now let them have a gap, both of them, gap of about 10 pixels. I think that we do. All right. The gap is only reflected in between here. But if I want the gap between this other one, I will add it here. So let's say gap of about 10 pixels. You will now see these ones adjust to give themselves little space. All right. All right. Now, what I want to add to this header part is about height. Height of about 12 VH and a padding of about 10 pixels, 15 pixels. I also want to give it a background color. Background color. Let me use this beige. Kind of like it. All right. And finally, I would also want to add a margin bottom. Margin bottom of about 15 pixels. All right. For now, that is all for this header tag. I will still add more styles to the header nav UL. All right. Okay, so in the header nav UL, as I said before, I want to give it maybe width of about, or first of all, let me give it flex 1. The flex 1 I'm giving to it is that it should take the remaining space when the logo has finished taking its own space. So flex, I'm giving it 1. Now it's going to stretch. Watch it. Then I want to add a width of about let me say a width of about 100%. But then this 100% should be in relation to the header nav. So I'm giving this one a width of about 90%. All right, so then another thing I would like to add here is I'll justify content. So justify content, let them space around. Space around. Let's see the effect of this. You could now see it now, stretching till the end of the page. Then to this, I would also like to add space around or justify content. Justify content, space, either space around or space evenly. That would do. Let me use space evenly and you see the effect all the more. Okay. So ordinarily, if you see, if I click on this basic structure, it opens what you've done before now. It opens this other page. And if I go back, I'm here. And if I click on home, it takes me to the home, but there's nothing in the home yet. Grid, nothing in the grid yet. Flexbox, the very one we did in the previous class. Just this part. All right, so let me still go back and we are here. Now let's take this hero section and style it a bit. So this hero section, what I want to do on it, I will use position attributes as well as other attributes I will show you. So that will make it very much responsive and dynamic. All right. Meanwhile, before getting the hero section, I would like to get the body and give the body a line height. This will be general, a line height of about 1.6, and then a font family that will run through the body. Font family, any font you choose here could serve. Okay, maybe I decide to choose this. I don't know how it appears, but that's good. Now, let's get the hero section. How did we make reference to it in the HTML? Let me close this. So in the HTML, we refer to the hero section as hero. So let's refer to it here, making reference to it dot hero. Let's display it as flex. As I said, this video builds on the last class we had, which is on Flexbox. So we're making it more clear. And then let's give it a height of about 100 VH and making it have a position, or first of all, height 100 VH. In that case, align item center, justify content center. We bring the entire item to the center of the page. Justify content would also be center. All right. The next thing I would like to do here is to position this hero section relative. For now, we shall dedicate a different video section tutorial for this positioning so that we understand how positioning works in HTML and CSS. So I've positioned it relative. The child element of this hero will be positioned absolute. That is why I first of all positioned the parent element relative. Now let's get the hero video dot hero video. That is the tag where the video is. Now it is the video I want to position absolute. And the next thing I want to add to it is to give it top. Let it take 50% away from the top, 50% away from the left as well. Left. And then I will use transform and translate property to bring it to the center. Transform, translate. And this translate is on both X and Y axis. Okay. Let me increase the page so you'll be seeing the effect of what we have been doing. This item, the video, is already on the middle of the page. It's at the center of the page. I want to give it a mean height and mean width as well. And then curve the edges a bit. So this is what I want to tweak here on this very video. Okay. So let's it have a border radius of about 10 pixels. Then a mean height and mean width of about maybe 80% or 85% will do. Then mean width, same. 85%. Let me increase the page as well so that you see the way it appears. Okay, so it's given. Now, what we want is to bring the text on top of this place, making it to have that backdrop filter effect. So the text will be on top of this, that is the hero content, will be on top of this video. Pay rapt attention. All right. Now, in multimedia tags, there is also another important property we do add to it, object fit, to make it cover so that it does not stretch in an obsolete manner. All right. I will still come back to this hero video. Let's get the hero content. How did we make reference to it in the HTML? Hero content, hero hyphen content. So always make sure you are making reference to it correctly. Else, you end up not getting what you want. So dot hero content, I want us to add a background color to it. This background color will be somewhat gray. And let's use 0000, maybe 5A. I don't know if that gives that gray color or not. Okay, that's good. Then I want us to give it a padding of about maybe 4 rem top and bottom, and then 2 rem left and right. Then align the text to be on the center. So text align center. Maybe color we also do. Maybe let's give it a white color. And obviously, you are not seeing the effect of what we are doing now. So when making use of positioning, when you make use of position attributes, there is what is known as Z index. Good. That is what is known as Z index. So this particular content, hero content we started now, is behind this video. So I want to add the lower Z index to this very one that I positioned absolute to say Z index to be -1. Every element on the web page has a Z index of 1. So when you reduce it or increase it, you are making one to be superior or inferior to the other. So I gave this -1. You could see that it has appeared on top of this video. This is also the effect. Okay, let me now add the effect of this backdrop so that you see what it does. So backdrop filter is the effect we add on text that is on top of either image or video. Okay, so I would want to make it blur. What is the degree of this blurry I want to give to it? Maybe let me say 15 pixels. You will notice this part where the text has become a bit blurred. You will no longer see the face of the individual appearing here clearly. So that's the effect of this backdrop filter. Okay, all right. Now let's get to this point of inserting images so that we will end up this particular tutorial. We've stretched, as I said, inserting images on the web page. There are so many features, so many animation effects you could add to your image on the web page. They may not be contained in this very video, but still follow for more and you will see other ones we've done. There's a video on transition and animation. There's also a video on at media query, there where we used at media query to also make the website very much responsive. Okay, for this part, I will show you how we make not inserting image now, but using images as background color. Using images as background color. I think that's the point we are now. Using images as background. Okay. Now, in the section that focuses on this, in the HTML, we have it as BG image. BG image. If you are unsure, go back to your HTML and copy it. Excuse me, I want us to give that a height, to give it a height of about 50 VH. VH is view height. And then let's say background. You could say background image or background color. Or not background color now, but background or background image. So whichever one you use, the important thing is that you add this URL, which as you already know that means uniform resource locator. So URL, then locate the image you want to use. Now we go to the folder where the image is. What has happened? Image. And then we'll look for the choice of image we want to use. Maybe this Pooh and Friends wallpaper. I don't know. I don't think we've used it before now. Okay. So we've not used it or we've used it, whatever. The important thing, there are features we need to add. Once you say background, we need to add background position, background size. So background position, if the image is not centered, if the face of the person is not showing, it is on the center. Once you say center, the image is centered. You now see it now. The face of this teddy bear is now showing as a background. We can as well add linear gradients or radial gradients, but that will be for another video. The time may not be here for now for us to do that, but it's good you take note of that. There is what you know as linear gradients and radial gradients, where we reduce the appearance of this background image. All right. So another thing we wish to add is background size. So background size. If the image is small, we could say contain or cover. So if there is a small image, it may not cover the entire space. Instead of it repeating and you don't want that effect to be repeating, you would say background repeat and you say no repeat so that it does not repeat itself. So it stretches to cover the entire space. All right. Now it is necessary for us to add few other things. Let's give it a width. This section we're giving the width as well as margin bottom. Let's give it a margin bottom of 2 rem and then give it a width of 100%. Width 100%. Why is this not responding so fast? Okay, width 100%. Then another would wish to do is to add a color so that the text we have on it will be visible. So let it be a white color. Very good. You now see using image as background color has now shown, is now visible for the viewer to see it. Okay, that having been done, I would want us to add, we might need to display this section as flex so that we will bring this right up and the center of the page. So display flex, align item center, justify content center. Once you do that, as long as you have a width assigned to the very section you're talking about, it will definitely, a height, not width now. So it will definitely bring the content to the center of the page. All right, so justify content, let's center it. So it is now centered on both X and Y axis. Finally, gentlemen and ladies, I would want to add a text shadow on this text so that you see what it does. So text shadow, all right, of about 2 pixels, 3 pixels, and finally maybe about 5 pixels. Yeah, it's okay like this. Let's make that color to be black, or rather gray. Let's say black, pure black. Should red go? Okay, I think it's better this way so that it becomes obvious. Or even blue. Let's leave it at red. All right, okay. So let's delve into the point of inserting images. Inserting images on the website. We've already inserted those images, but we just need to style them. All right, guys. So let's go on. So for this part, I would want us to see how big these images are first. Then we'll go over to the next thing we want to do. Now, I want to make reference to this image by saying dot image gallery img. I want to give it, as long as I make the right reference, width of 200 pixels. All of them will reduce, very good. Height of 200 pixels too. Very good. Object fit, normal. I already said that before. We add it to make sure it is stretched. It is object fit should be cover. And if that image is not centered, you will just say object position, and then instead of background position as you did before. But these dogs, these teddy bears, these items you're seeing now, all of them are centered on the page, so there's no need. But for the clarity purpose, let's add it and say object position. Let's say center. All right. Now, before getting this image, I did this so that you will see how small they are now, so that the effect we are adding on them would be very obvious. So let's get the image gallery fig caption. Fig caption. What do I want to do with that fig caption? I want to say font style. Font style should be italicized, italic. And let me also make the font weight to be bold. Font weight bold. Now, I would want to get the image gallery figure itself. So the image gallery figure, I would want to make it come to the center so that the text will be on the center, directly beneath the image. Okay, so I'll make that one say text align center. As simple as that. Then the next thing I would want us to do now is to call image gallery. So dot image gallery. I want to display it as flex so that you will now see this image appearing side by side. Display flex. It is pertinent at this point. You see how all of them are appearing. If you add a gap, supposing I add a gap of about 10 pixels, you will see how they will space themselves. Very good. Now, the next thing I would like to do is, if I want little border radius on those items, on the images, I could do it from here. So border radius, it could be 15 pixels, little curved edges. If you want it to be a round image, you could say 50%. And you see them appear this way as round images. Of great importance is addition of flex wrap here so that the items will not overflow. So flex wrap, we say let them wrap around themselves. So all other ones, this helps for responsiveness. This website we are building now can appear with ease on mobile screen. It could appear with ease on tablets as well as on desktop or Windows. All right, guys, tell me what you think about this. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Another thing I would like us to add now is to make sure we bring this thing to the center by just saying align item center. If you want to justify content space evenly, that would also do. Okay, so and then we'll finish up the backdrop filter effects for the image we'll have last, and that ends this tutorial. Okay, don't touch that die. All right. This is the point I am now to add align items center. justify content, space evenly. I just kind of prefer that. So these are evenly spaced. Evenly spaced. If this page is resized, it's adjust accordingly. All right. So these are few out of the many things you can do. You could do on your website while talking about multimedia tags. I just realized it seems this my VS Code is not bold enough for some persons. Maybe you're not seeing it clearly. I've zoomed it all the more. Maybe let me resize this part. Doesn't okay. All right. So the next thing I want us to do now is to talk about the backdrop filter effects. All right, guys. So we have gone too far to go back. Okay. All right. So what I would want us to add now is this backdrop filter effect. Now there is need to insert a background image. But then let's get the section we are working on first. What is the name of that section from our HTML file? So the name of the section is referenced as backdrop. And then inside it, we have backdrop filter. So don't forget, if you don't reference it correctly, you end up not getting the right thing. So backdrop, I want to insert a background to it. Remember, we've learned how to add background image. Before I said you can use either background or background image. So let me use background image this time around. Add the URL, then get the correct location of the image. And then this, maybe I'll use teddy bear this time around. Teddy bear, maybe in nature or anyone. Teddy bear playing. I don't know what that one is. Okay, whichever, make sure you center it. Background position, center. Very important. Very good. Background size, cover. Very much important. Now let's add width of 100% and height of about 60 VH. Automatically it takes 100%, but it's good to make use of this, or 100 view width. Then height of about 60 VH. The image will stretch accordingly. Then let's display this section as flex, align item center, justify content center. Hope you are following, gentlemen, ladies. Okay, so once you do that, this item will come to the center. You could now see the effect immediately on this image. Now let me make the color itself to be white so that you see the color appear very much obvious. I would like to add a padding to this section. Padding of about 2 rem. Maybe since it is image, it's not that obvious. The image covered everywhere. So it's not necessary here. Rather, I can decide to put it in this part so that you see the spaces from within this box. Padding 2 rem. Very good. Align item center or text align. That's what I meant to say. Text align should be center. When you say align items, you are referring if you made use of display flex. You could see the effect of the code tag. Code as CODE. This is its effect. This is its effect. Okay. You may decide to add effect to code when you hover on it. Background color. red this way. Maybe you would also add padding to it. So padding to be about 10 pixels all around, or 10 pixels, don't be too much. 5 pixels, 10 pixels sideways may still be much. Okay. All right. Just for your learning pleasure, tell me what you think about this. If you still want, make cursor to be pointer and then add the border radius to it as well. All this happens only when you hover on it. So border radius of about 8 pixels we still do. So you see the effect, you notice it now. So when you hover on it, it is that way. That is for the code. I want you to notice that code. The last thing, the final thing I would like to do on this particular one is to add box shadow. Or is it necessary? Let's just leave it. At least you've seen the effect of the backdrop filter on this image. We've also seen it before now on the video. Lastly, let me style the footer so that we draw the curtain at this point. Let me give the footer a height of about 12 VH, that is 12 view height, and then padding of about 10 pixel, 15 pixel we still do, and let the background color be like the header, which is beige. Remember I used it in the header. And then let's make the font weight to be bold, and then text align center. That is all. So font weight bold, text align center. All right, guys, endeavor to subscribe our YouTube page to get more useful content for your learning pleasure. Hit the comment section for what you think. For more updates, we'll listen to you and we are here to create content for your satisfaction. Your satisfaction is our own priority. Okay, thank you for paying attention. Ciao. Okay.